Let's talk about epistemic injustice, which is an injustice of knowledge. British philosopher Miranda Fricker identified two different kinds of epistemic injustice: testimonial injustice and hermeneutical injustice. Testimonial injustice is when somebody does not believe another person's personal lived experience or testimony because of their perception of that other person. This is where power and oppression come in, because when we center narratives of white supremacy, patriarchy, ableism, all of these different forms of oppression come into play to devalue the testimony of people that do not come from those dominant narratives. This is why representation is so important, because the more we hear testimony of people from marginalized experiences and marginalized identities, the more diversity we are going to have an understanding of these experiences, and we can decenter those dominant narratives. The other type of injustice is hermeneutical injustice. This is an injustice of access to knowledge. This is when somebody's experiences are not well known to even themselves because they don't have access to the information to explain their experiences. And again, this is why representation in academia and research and politics and all of these spaces is so important for marginalized communities, because then we start to have the studying of that knowledge to actually explore non-dominant narratives and how they are impacted within that context. So speaking about asexuality, we have testimonial injustice of people who say they are asexual and are not believed because they're either hypersexualized or desexualized based on their perceived identity. And of course, this is heavily influenced by white supremacy, patriarchy, ableism. All of these things go into how that person is being perceived. The hermeneutical injustice comes into play for asexuality because there's many asexual people that don't even know they're asexual because they don't have access to that language. And the research being done is extremely limited, and much of the research is being done by people who are not asexual, and especially who aren't coming from marginalized identities and asexuality. One of the best books available for us to start to understand these intersections is the book Refusing Compulsory Sexuality, A Black Asexual Lens on Our Sex-Obsessed Culture by Sherronda J. Brown. Another option that you can look into is Ace by Angela Chen. And then there is Asexualities, A Feminist and Queer Perspective, as edited by Cerankowski and Milks, which includes a number of essays done from diverse perspectives on asexuality.